All right, guys, we're live. Good morning. Abby, where are you headed this morning? Abby's always
Okay.
Last week, she was in a different state. She's in her hotel room. She's going to the airport.
Yeah, so this morning I'm actually driving. I know I'm like driving and doing this. Okay, I promise I'm not going to look at the camera. I'm going to look at the road the whole time.
You look
Except right now.
beautiful.
Thanks. Except right now I'm in a drive-through, so I can look at the camera. Getting my morning unsweet tea. So, anyway, so yeah, I am driving to College Station. And I'm doing some video, I'm doing some filming and then there were none, and some other stuff I'm doing at my old clinic where I used to work, actually. So yeah, so I'm going back into my old clinic and doing some filming. So
this is not, Abby and I didn't even discuss this, and I didn't even know her plans this morning, but completely unrelated to our topic today, Abby. What is that like for you so Abby was a Planned Parenthood director for 8 years, and now she's one of the leading pro-life advocates globally. So what's that like walking back in there for you?
I don't know. This will be my first time.
Oh my gosh, so this is going to be the first time like that you're literally, oh my gosh, wow.
I mean, it's just a building, so I just keep having to it's just a building. So it's, there was a lot of evil that was done in there, but it's not being done there anymore. And so I don't know. We'll see. One of the rooms has been kept, one of the back rooms, which was our most, I guess our busiest, thank you, our busiest abortion room, where we did the most abortions. That has actually been kept sort of like untouched. And so that's going to be, thank you. And then sorry, I'm literally going through the drive-thru.
It's the real
deal. So that back room has been left untouched. And then everything else was sort of remodeled. And then the room where what we called the POC lab, so where we actually like piece the baby parts back together, that room has been left untouched. So supposedly that's what I've been told. So that's going to be sort of interesting, going back into those rooms, particularly the POC room. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I haven't worked there in 11 years, so it's been a long time. I think, if it was like fresh or something, if I just left like, a year or two ago, it would be probably different. But for me, it's very far removed from my life. So,
right.
It's, and I've done so much healing since then. So,
right. Well, selfishly, I'm just excited gonna send you a little Marco Polo video or text later to be like, well, tell me like what, because it's one of those things you really can't even assume or plan for, because it's just going to be completely organic how you feel and react. But what a 360 again, like as always, you have one of the beautiful stories that is just full circle, and now.
So I'll tell you what's cool though. So one of the gals that actually was who worked for the Coalition for Life. So that was the group that prayed, for me in front of my clinic. who now works for And Then There Were None. She's a client manager for And Then There Were None. She's actually going to be there today for the filming, so that's kind of cool. To have her there, with me. So
yeah. Oh my gosh, how awesome.
yeah.
Good stuff. I just, and Abby, we're always in alignment on so many things. And, I'm not sure if you're feeling it too. I'm kind of like an empath, and I'm kind of, I try to go to confession every 2 weeks now. And I was even talking to the priest about it this last weekend. Like, I'm feeling so, it's like hit or miss, but it's coming in big waves for me. The state of the world, the state of our country, the state of affairs in other countries, knowing the unknown for our children. Like, I get exhausted, and I get scared, and then I get really any more impatient when I'm seeing people who have blinders. And do you know what I mean? Are you feeling those same things at times, or no?
I mean, I do. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel impatient. But then, we have like these big breakthroughs, like, yesterday, we had this breaking news. We found out that the Supreme Court is going to take up a case that will challenge Roe v. Wade, which is very exciting. So, we've
Yes.
been wondering, is this going to happen? When is it going to happen? We have a 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court. So, we've been sort of wondering, like, okay, like what, what are they waiting on?
Right.
There are so many cases that they could take up. I think there's like 11 heartbeat bills that are sitting at the Supreme Court that, they could pick up and rule on. And so, people have just been sort of waiting, like, what's the dealio? Like, what are they waiting on? Well, we finally got, the answer yesterday. This is a great case. It's a Mississippi case. It basically challenges abortion in sort of a pre-viability abortion law. So, basically, just sort of a brief rundown. Roe v. Wade didn't just say, okay, abortion is legal, period. That's not what it said. It basically said that states cannot ban abortion in the first and second trimester, but that they could make the decision whether or not abortion should be made legal in their state in the third trimester. Now, the majority of states do not allow elective abortion in the third trimester. So there have been a few cases that have stood because they haven't been challenged. So, for instance, Texas, a few other states have 20-week bans on the books. Those have simply not been challenged. If they were to be challenged by Planned Parenthood or Center for Reproductive Rights or something like that, they would most likely be blocked because 20 weeks is still in the second trimester. We don't know exactly why they haven't been challenged by Planned Parenthood or these other pro-choice groups, except that it's terrible PR, like, well, we still want to be able to kill babies in the 6 months, I mean, it's just not good publicity for them. So we think that that's probably why they haven't challenged them in court. But other than that, every other ban on abortion in the first or second trimester, including dismemberment bans, which bans a specific type of abortion, a dismemberment abortion, a D&E abortion, heartbeat bills, any, total abolition of abortion, any other type of abortion ban in the first or second trimester has been found unconstitutional, and it has been struck down in lower courts, including circuit courts. So there was a case in Mississippi that has been struck down in the lower courts, including a circuit court, the Fifth Circuit Court, which is an incredibly conservative court. But they have to do their job. They have to strike it down because, again, because of the precedent that Roe stated that you cannot ban abortion in the first or second trimester. It's now been taken up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has a decision. They don't have to pick up every case that comes before them, but they have decided to pick this one up. In 1973, when Roe was decided, we didn't know a lot about what takes place to a human fetus in the womb. We didn't know a lot about fetal development. We didn't have ultrasound technology in 1973, 1972. We just didn't know. We didn't really know anything about fetal development. And so now we know a lot more. And so what I've sort of been saying is that, it's time to recall abortion. When you know a lot about a particular product that's being sold to the public, and when you find out that that product is bad, then you recall it from the shelves, right? Now we know so much more about abortion. We know the damage that it does to women who have abortion. We know the damage that it causes to families, and we certainly know more about the unborn and what it does to them. And so it's time to recall this product, to pull it off the shelf. So if the Supreme Court, this is the moment that the pro-lifers have been waiting for since 1973, right? And so if the court did overturn Roe v. Wade, it doesn't suddenly make abortion illegal. So pro-lifers need to understand that. People need to understand that. It simply throws the decision of abortion back to the states, which is where it really should be in the first place. This shouldn't be a federal decision. So states would then make a decision on whether or not abortion would be legal in their own state. So some states, like Louisiana, like soon Texas is about to pass this law, they have something on the books called a trigger ban. A trigger ban would make abortion illegal immediately as soon as Roe is overturned. Some states have heartbeat bills on the books that would go into effect if Roe was overturned. So the moment that a detectable heartbeat is found, abortion would no longer be allowed, which would, ban the overwhelming majority of abortions. Some states, our more blue states, our more liberal states, would then become sort of abortion destination states. You would see abortion tourism. You would see women, flying and driving to those states to have abortions. So this is this was breaking news yesterday, but it keeps me hopeful that this is going to wake a lot of people up. Of course, it will be detrimental if they continue to codify Roe v. Wade in law, and they continue to side with Roe. But this is literally what we've been waiting for almost 50 years. And, this is where we now, conservatives, people of faith, pro-lifers, this is where we need to really be praying. We need to be, putting on our armor every day, like you and I have been talking about constantly. We need to be praying for these justices, that they really see truth and that they rule on truth.
Yes. And truly, with that prayer alone, that's all we're asking for. And when you're asking for that, who can disagree with that? So I love that. I love that you explain that, because there's so much, so many assumptions, so much misinterpretation out there what this is about. So much misinformation. So I love that you just explained that. That's going to answer a lot of questions people have had over the last 24 hours. Speaking of policies and things, this more so directly impacting every family. I know last night you and I said we wanted to, talk about the American Rescue Plan, and again, no matter what political party you belong to, again, there's a lot of misunderstandings, how this is going to directly impact every person, every single family, right?
Yeah, so Biden's American Rescue Plan, so it looks good on paper, right? And people are like, oh my gosh, look at all the, I mean, first of all, let's talk about the amount of money that Biden has shelled out to the American people so far. I mean, we're talking about trillions of dollars that has already been sent out to the American public through stimulus money just in the past 5 months of his presidency. This is, I mean, I don't know if, people are like, oh yeah, keep giving us money, keep giving us money. Guys, everybody understands that money doesn't just grow on trees, right? Like, you can't just, money doesn't just come out of thin air, right? Money has to come from somewhere. So we're borrowing this money from somewhere. You don't just keep printing up dollars. It doesn't just happen. That doesn't just happen. Okay. So this money has to come from somewhere. So where is it coming from? Well, I mean, honestly, it's coming from taxpayers who are above, a certain threshold, not even a high threshold. Okay. But it's coming from taxpayers. There's now 40% capital gains tax, which is insane. We're going to have to start, borrowing more and more money from places like China, we do not want to have to be further in debt to, communist China. This money has to come from somewhere. Okay. And he is already spending. I mean, the amount of money that he is spending is astronomical. Okay. So, and he's done that through, and the jobs report, we can talk about the jobs report in a minute. But anyway, people aren't working. They're choosing not to work because of this stimulus, these stimulus packages that he keeps putting out, because of the unemployment that he keeps, extending and extending and extending, because of COVID supplements on top of unemployment. So, and here comes the American Rescue Plan. Okay. 39 million American families are going to qualify for the American Rescue Plan. All right. Probably a lot of you watching this are going to qualify for this plan, because virtually everybody qualifies for the plan. Okay. If you as a family, 2-parent household, qualify, you qualify if you make $150,000 or less. Most of the people in my life that I know make $150,000 or less. That is an incredibly high threshold. Okay, incredibly. That is not even close to being an impoverished family. Okay,
Right.
it's not even close to hitting the poverty line. I mean, you're so far above the poverty line, you can't even see the poverty line. Okay,
Right.
if you're
Right.
making a combined income of $150,000 a year, okay.
Right.
I mean, you're living, you're middle class. Okay, if you're making $150,000 a year.
Right.
Okay,
Sure.
so if you do though, and you have children, every child that you have living in your home, you're going to get a payment of $250 a month if they're 6 years old or older,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to get a payment of $300 a month if they are under the age of 6.
Right.
So starting July 15th. This is going to cost this is going to cost the American taxpayer, this is going to cost our government trillions of dollars. And let's just be perfectly honest. If you are, you know, I mean, if you're a family and you have, let's say you have, you know, a child, and the government is giving you $300, that, what does that do? I mean,
Right.
really,
Right.
$300? It doesn't pay for daycare. That doesn't. I mean, this money. It's just like we keep giving people money, but we're actually not fixing a problem.
Right. Right.
Money, throwing money at people is actually not fixing anything. People need caseworkers in their lives. They need someone to walk along beside them. They need someone to accompany them. They need someone to figure, and you know, a lot of, and there's no accountability for where the money's going. Okay.
Right. Right.
I would rather see trillions and trillions of dollars go to expand the WIC program. I would rather see trillions and trillions of dollars go to raise the limit for SNAP food benefits or food stamps, right? So that more families qualify for SNAP food benefits. I would rather see trillions and trillions of dollars go to expand case management services for WIC. So they're not just handing you a card for WIC, but they have case managers that can help you, you know, assess different pitfalls in your life and figure out what's going on.
Wow.
To help get you out of this rut that you're in, right? Stop throwing money at people. That's not actually helping families. I would rather see trillions and trillions of dollars go to child care subsidy programs so that people can actually afford freaking daycare.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a way to solve family problems, and it's not giving them $250 a month per kid.
Right.
That's not actually solving anything.
And what's sad about that, like you said, you hit the nail on the head, Abby. Dare I use the word maturity anymore, but there's no accountability for what those people are doing with the money. I feel like at least half, maybe more than half of parents, gosh, is it even going to go to the kiddos? Is it
not going to go to their kids?
No.
They're going to be like, Mama's going to go get her nails done. Mama's going to go get new hair. Mama's going to, no, it's not going to go to their kids.
Right.
There's no accountability.
No.
And I mean, put it into programs where there is accountability.
Yes.
You know, where they're not smoking the money away in cigarettes or joints or whatever, right? Where they're not like going and buying booze with the money. I mean, it's ridiculous. We just keep throwing, we're like just peeing away money at taxpayers' expenses.
Right.
And I'm just so done with this. Yeah. And then, you know, in the meantime, and then what we talked about last week, in the meantime, we're like pissing away money, but then we can't even figure out how to put trillions and trillions of dollars into a parental leave policy, for God's sake. Like, I mean, we cannot figure out how to adequately help parents and families in this country.
And And a comment, I know you can't see because you're driving. Jenny, I agree with you. We're getting a lot of comments, Abby, and Jenny just said, it's really scary how dependent people are becoming on getting money from the government, period. When you, and the government loves that. They love when you rely on that. They love the dependency. When people are in fear and they need you and they're dependent upon you, you have complete control. So,
guys, and I'm sorry to make this partisan, but this is the Democratic Party platform. This is what they are about. They are about keeping people dependent on the government dole. That's how they keep voters, okay? This is what they do. This is what they have been about for decades. Keeping people dependent on the government, keeping people enslaved to the government. That is how they keep voters, period. That's what they're about. Because if they get you off of the government dole, then you become a Republican.
I did a little mic drop symbol for you. There is, and we have, Kirsten, parental leave needs huge reform. It does. So many things need huge reform. I know you didn't mention that.
We can't even reform it. We can't even reform it because we don't even have it.
No, exactly. I say, and I was talking with a friend yesterday, but the foster system needs massive reform. The adoption system needs massive reform. And with this crisis at the border, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
We have to do something with
Vice President Kamala Harris. How about you get off your freaking Twitter and go down to the border? Where is Kamala Harris? She hasn't even been to the border since this crisis. She's in charge of the border crisis. She hasn't even been down there one time. Paging Kamala Harris. Like, where the crap are you?
Right. I'm with you, sister. And these innocent babies and children are suffering, and we need so many things reformed. And what we're doing right now as a country, again, that's directly affecting our families, directly affecting our children and the future of our children, is we're just creating this dependency. We're putting bandages over seeping wounds, and the blood is running out, and we're just all about it. Everything's just going to burst. And so,
okay, do you have a calculator there?
I do.
Okay, all right.
I do.
Okay, let's say this is reality right now. Okay, in Biden's America, this is reality. Somebody on unemployment can make $400 a week. Okay, on unemployment, that's $1,600 a month. Okay. Now, let's say they have 2 kids under 6 years old. All right. So that is $600 a month. So plus $600. All right. Now with the COVID stimulus money that they get weekly, if they're unemployed, that's an additional $300 a week. Okay. So plus $1,200. Okay. How much is that?
Oh, I just added 300. You wanted me to add 1,200 to that?
At 1,200, 600, 1,600.
Oh man, Abby, I messed it up. Hold on, I was at 2,500 plus 1,200.
600.
3,700.
$3,700 a month. Why in the heck would anybody work? That's more. Okay, my friend that is a full-time school teacher does not make she makes $3,300 a month. Why in the world would anybody work when they can make $3,700 a month from the government?
Right. Oh,
I wouldn't.
No one in their right mind would.
I'd be like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Wait a minute. Then, since they're not working, they're considered indigent. So they're going to get free health care for them. They're going to get Medicaid for them. They're going to get free health care for their children, everybody in their family. They're going to get free dental, okay? free vision, free pharmaceutical, okay? They're going to get food stamps. I mean, if they're a family of 3 or 4, they're probably going to get at least $700 a month in food stamps. So free groceries. They're going to qualify for WIC for them and their children. I mean, why would anybody work?
Right. And then our people are saying, and then you don't even have to pay for childcare. So you're set.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. They qualify for every government program out there. Okay? They'll qualify for the lighted up program, so their utilities will be paid for. They'll qualify for Section 8 housing, so their rent will be paid for. I swear, they are getting $3,700 $3,700 a month. Guys, it is $3,700 cash in their pockets because everything is being paid for by our tax dollars. In addition to the $3,700 that is also our tax dollars. Why would they work? And on top of that, they're getting stimulus after stimulus after stimulus from the Biden administration. That could go to their weekend party. Hell, they can fly to Disney World, take their kids to Disney. I can't even afford to take my kids to Disney, but they can.
Right.
This is Biden's world, and this is how they continue to get voters, by keeping them enslaved on the government's dole. This is how they get voters.
Right. Everyone's chiming in, and it is. I
gotta turn the AC up. I'm fired up in my heart.
I love it. I mean, Abby's one of the closest people in my life. I think one of the best words to describe her is passionate, and I love it. It's just something that, and here, Abby, what can we do right now? Is people watching this, and you're a mom or dad watching this, what do we even do at this point? Aside from prayer, which we know prayer changes many things. I don't even know. What do we even do?
Not a damn thing. Well, you know what? You need to share videos like this. You need to educate your friends. You need to help people understand that this is not a good thing, because your friends are out here going like, oh, hashtag Biden, hashtag I love him, hashtag this is awesome for my family. No, it's not. It's not awesome for your family. This is not great. This is not good for America. This is not good for your family. People need to understand this is not what they think it is. Okay? This is hashtag enslavement. This is hashtag enslaved to the government. This is hashtag America going down the toilet. This is hashtag dollars are about to be as much as pesos. Okay? Our dollar is about to be as valuable as pesos. Okay? Our dollar is going to tank. This is not me being like a conspiracy theorist, guys. When you keep devaluing your dollar, when you keep borrowing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, what do you think happens to your dollar? It is devalued to such a degree that it's nothing. It means nothing. It's valued as nothing. Okay? So people need to understand this. They need to share videos like this. They need to educate themselves. You need to be speaking up on your own platforms to your own friends. You need to be doing your own videos. You need to be educating yourself, talking to people at your church, talking to people around you. Help people understand. You've got to be using your own voices and your own platforms right now. I mean, yeah, you got to pray, but you got to do more than that. You got to use your voice.
And here's the thing too, no matter if you are in disagreement with us or not, the frightening level of censorship right now should be so alarming to people. on the other side, people who completely disagree with us and who love this administration and think that he walks on water, the people that are getting censored, everything that is getting taken down and shut down should be absolutely alarming. That people have lost. And again, so what Abby says, and she and I are doing it. She and I have both been censored at different times. She and I have both had facts stated in video taken down. And we're not naive to know that that's coming. She and I are, and our platform has high numbers. We're extremely conservative. We know what's coming for us, but that doesn't stop us from doing what we're doing and speaking out. And so I completely agree with Abby. But let me tell you, if you think you live in a free country that is great, it's alarming. Those of us who have our eyes wide open, it's alarming.
None of this is free, guys. None of this free money is free. It all comes with strings. Everything has a price. Nothing is free. Nothing from the government is free. Never. Like, we should all know that by now. Nothing from the government is ever, ever, ever free. And I mean, and we are inching closer and closer and closer to really a dictatorship. I mean, did everybody see what Biden put on his Facebook page? Like,
oh yeah, with the get vaccinated or
wear mask until you do.
Yeah, right.
Like, wait a minute, pro-choicer. What about my body, my choice?
Right.
Like, hold up now.
Touche. It only works when it's convenient. Oh my God.
I'm like, if your vaccine works, then you shouldn't worry about whether or not I'm wearing a mask. How about that?
Exactly.
Do you have confidence in your vaccine or not?
Right.
So, I mean, we are inching closer and closer and closer to a dictatorship. And this is what they want. This is like, I feel like I'm sounding crazier and crazier as I'm talking, so I should probably shut up. This is like grooming, guys. This is grooming. Like,
yes.
We're going to give you some money. Old gross grandpa's going to give you some money or some candy. Here's some candy, guys. So you'll trust us. Here's a little bit of candy every month. And, and so you trust him and you're like, oh, I love this old creepy grandpa. He's so sweet. He gives me money and candy every month. And then you trust him and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, here, old creepy grandpa's just putting his hand up my skirt a little bit. It's fine. Guys, they take and they take and they take. This is grooming. This is grooming for the future. He's only been in office for not even 6 months. And look what he's doing. This is grooming behavior. This is predatory behavior. Don't buy it. And if you are getting that stimulus money, I'm telling you, if you are getting that stimulus money, if you are getting this money from this American Rescue Plan and you don't need it, then you need to be saving it. You need to be saving this money. You need to be, now I'm going to really sound crazy, but my husband and I we have been buying like gold and silver because I don't know what is going to happen to the dollar. And maybe nothing, and maybe I'm just going to be some crazy like lunatic at the end of the day, and the dollar's going to be fine. But I'm not taking my chances, and so we have been buying like gold and silver bars. We've been putting money into that because gold and silver is never going to lose its value, and the dollar might.
Yeah.
And so we've been taking our money. We've been buying, not like where I have to have like a, an underground bunker for it or anything, but like we've been buying some because that's never going to lose its value. And I just don't know, with us spending and spending and borrowing, I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true, sister. It is a very uncertain future, and the best thing to do is, oh my Lord, is just be informed with the facts. So many of the factual things get shut down and removed, and it's like anything that comes from the administration people. So many are just eating right up, and it's crazy times, Abby.
It is. And I tell people, start investing in things other than money. Like buy land. Like buy
Right,
things that aren't tied up in like dollar bills. Like don't put
right,
all of your money into the stock market. The stock market can crash at any second. Like
right,
start buying land. Start buying things that are like not just like worth like monetary, like
right,
dollars, you know?
right. I love that. I love those suggestions. And as we're here at the end of the show, I just want to say, Abby and I, and our platform here, we just continue to pledge to keep talking about the hard things. And she and I aren't afraid to be censored, and we're not afraid to cover the hard topics. And we're not afraid to deliver the unpopular truth at times. And so we pledge to continue to try to do that here for you guys. And Abby, you were on fire. I loved it. I loved it. We need to keep Abby in the car because she's just focused. I love it.
I'm just, oh man, this has been like when I saw that yesterday come through, this American Rescue Plan, I was just like, ah! Come on with the spending, like all the spending.
Yeah. Lord.
Anyway,
Well,
Lord help us. Lord help us.
Yes, I say it 100 times a day, all day. Lord have mercy. All right, Abby. Well, next week we'll have to kind of talk about, how your time went filming later today. So I'm going to be praying. I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to check in with you later. And to everyone out there, we love you guys, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.